What up world, it's Tony Recluse and you're on my vlog. Well, so this is a Cannondale CAD 8. It's not a touring bike, but I've ridden it to Daytona before. This is a $40 tent. I got one of these little hero wallets. You could just wear it, you know, like over your shoulder. So I don't have to worry about pickpocket. When I got this bike, this $300 bike, for like an extra $100, they threw in these dry bags. So I've got my tent here, sleeping bag here. I have a backpack right here. I think it's a little bit too big for regulation when we get there, but I guess I'll see. Yeah, ready to roll. Shit. Just when you're ready to go, you realize that you're on 17 freaking %. Now you gotta charge it for the next hour. Fuck. 2 hours to get that fully charged through Daytona, through the what used to be a city. Now, growing up, Daytona was like the hot spot. If you ever watched MTV back in the late 80s, early 90s, and you're from New York or Ohio or anywhere cold, you wanted to go to Daytona. So it's day 2 of Rockville. I got here with like, after 8 hours of biking in a hot summer sun, which was like, you know, peak hours, like 11 to 2 hours on the road. So I made it here, I think around 3 or so. Got to see Papa Roach. They always do a killer set. Probably one of the best live acts I've ever seen. Who else? Oh, Kiss. So they were good, but I mean, it was good. Yeah, it was a great like live show and all. There's also another band. Hold that thought. Oh yeah, so this is Gene Simmons. I got to see him. How cool was that? The other band, In This Moment, they put on an excellent live show. I mean, it was, wow, it was epic. Yeah, tonight's Megadeth. I think Bush too. But right now I need to get my phone charged at the locker, and yeah, that's about it. So there's a thunderstorm coming in a few hours. We're gonna check back here, see how this holds up during the thunderstorm. I'm gonna go charge my phone up in the meantime at one of my lockers, or my locker, and yeah, that's about it. Anyway, I'm out. Peace. Yeah, so this is day 2 of Rockville, and yeah, I'm like up on this Budweiser stand. It's pretty dope, and yeah, here's the view. How freaking cool is that? There's the stands where people watch the Daytona 500 on. There's some band playing right behind me over there. A band playing over, okay, no, not yet. But there's a band playing over there. It's tonight. I think tonight is Cedar. I hope it's Guns N' Roses. Might not be, but we'll see. So, living in Florida, I just take for granted that like when I hear a thunderstorm, it's like a short period of time, like maybe an hour or so, and then you go back to living your life, and it's bright and sunny all of a sudden. Soon, it's a goddamn monsoon, and I have a tent. I have no idea how flooded it is, and that's pretty much where I'm at. So hopefully after never stopped. It seriously never stopped all night long. My uncle called me or texted me to see if I needed a place to crash, and I took him up on the offer. So I spent basically the next 2 days in New Smyrna, because the day after that I came back to another month just in time for the next month. Sunday, weather is beautiful, finally. After like 2 days of the monsoon, my tent was destroyed. My camera, my charger, and I forgot what else. We're still in the lockers, which credit to the people that were working there. They kept everything secure, so kudos to them. Great job. So this is not a good sign. I see the tarp on the top is down. You know, the thing that would keep my stuff dry. This is gonna, the show's killer. And right now, I'm just taking a little breather. Just saw the Struts, killer set. Saw Poppy, killer set. I spilled beer. Oh, it sucks. Especially when you're spending as much as I just did. Right there. It's devastating. It fucking hurts. $13. So this is rock.
The beautiful house with a beautiful wife. You may ask yourself, well, how did I get here?
Oh shit. Okay, so my sleeping bag's moldy. I could smell that shit. And there's like a funk smell, even though I got a vent window open on this tent. And so if the mold doesn't get to me, then the sunburn that's blistering will. And but totally worth it. I'm gonna go to sleep now for 4 hours, and that's it. Anyway, good night everyone. Bye. Okay, so final thoughts on Rockville. So in 1994, I went to Woodstock 94, and I was 16 years old, and I didn't get to fully enjoy the experience because I had to be home and I had to work my first job, which in hindsight I would have quit, knowing how much I was missing out on. So 30 plus years later, a friend of mine comes down from New York, and he's like, I got an extra ticket to Rockville, and it was in the fall after the pandemic was starting to clear up. So I went out to Rockville, him and his wife, and yeah, it was awesome. It was amazing, and I was like, I gotta experience this again. So I went all out. I've got the tickets for the 4 days. I've got my own campsite. I've got a locker for stuff, and I was ready to go. So be careful what you wish for. Because for Woodstock 94, and I got all the rain that came with it. It opened with a band that was brought to you by the U.S. Army. It's called As You Were. They're pretty decent, and they would direct people over to the Army recruiting station. It was interesting, you know, to see that. It was one of those things you don't expect. One of the first tents they do have is a sober tent. You know, for anyone that, you know, was in recovery and they're going to a concert, which it's got to be difficult. So that was good to see. Lockers were also around the same area, and in the lockers there were charging stations. The charging stations were not up to speed. It would take my phone an hour to get 10% of a charge. So that part of the lockers weren't really worth, the money, but having the lockers themselves made for a better experience, if you want. Okay, so this experience wouldn't be possible if it wasn't for the great work over at A1A Cycles. They helped me get my Cannondale up to running condition to get from point A to point Daytona. So there was that. Thanks Tony and Todd and Jacqueline for getting me excited about the experience of going to Rockville. It was good to see Dave over there, who also was at Woodstock '94, a friend of mine from Nobby's. George, it was good to see him. He loved the Who you. Oh God, this is going to turn into an Abbott Costello. The Who. I don't know what. I didn't know. Anyway, on third. Anyway, I'm going to keep that just for laughs. So yeah, the concert was awesome. I highly recommend anyone. If there's a music festival nearby, go see it. It was amazing. Gotta love it. Is that it? I think that's my final thought.